Live in HD, you're watching KJZZ News at 9 with Debbie Worthen and Ron Bird.
Hey, welcome back. Well, we're talking about office gossip and how to really save your career if you need to save it. We're here with author and career coach Rhonda Sciortino, and we could be doing some things that are really hurting us in the workplace.
Yeah, absolutely. I have some tips for people. I have lots of tips on my website and in the book From Foster Care to Millionaire, but I only have time to share just a few with you today.
Well, let's do it.
All right, so I would say that the #1 thing for fireproofing your job, creating job security, is learning everything you possibly can about your employer, its products and services, and the industry. We can do this easier than ever before by investing our time at night, getting up on the internet and reading the website, setting up Google alerts so that anytime our employer appears, on the internet or in the media, that we get notified, and we can establish ourselves as being the most knowledgeable person in the workplace.
Yeah, knowledge is key.
It absolutely is, and it doesn't matter what job you have with the employer. If you're the most knowledgeable person there, you set yourself apart. And that's really the point of all of these tips, is to rise above and set yourself apart from everyone else, because you never know where your next opportunity is going to come from. It could be a coworker that leaves and goes elsewhere and recommends you, or someone who starts their own business, a vendor that you work with, or a customer. And so some of the other tips are: be positive. Be the one who's cheerful and patient and kind and encouraging, even if it's the most pressure-packed workplace and you have to put on an Academy Award-winning performance.
But the thing is, what I've noticed is, we're clearly in our recession. We've been there for a while, and so morale has really taken a hit. I'm sure in all industries.
Yeah. That's right.
Everyone's working harder for less,
That's
and
right.
I think it is really important to be that person that says, we're going to make this as a team together and keep pushing forward.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Easier said than done.
Well, it is. It's easier said than done, but it's a deliberate choice that we make. Nobody wants to hear complaining. Nobody wants to hear whining. So, I just strongly recommend, don't involve yourself in gossip or office gossip, politics. Stay out of conflict. Contribute to the solutions, rather than the problems in the workplace. And that's really a decision. It's a decision to leave the room when people are speaking negatively about the company or the boss or the coworkers. We may have all those same opinions, but it's very important for us to learn not to let everything that pops into our head to fall out of our mouth.
Exactly.
That's true.
All right, and so I guess probably the most important thing I want to leave everyone with is to not expect anything from the employer but an opportunity and an earned paycheck. Not to go to work looking for a social life or a social worker, somebody to listen to our problems. This is the age of social networking. So what we share during the day, we think in confidence, could wind up on Facebook tonight. And I've seen that happen. And it can destroy careers. And we don't know what we're missing if someone doesn't offer us an opportunity and passes us by because of something that they've heard or seen. So we want to avoid all that.
Well, the bottom line is we have an opportunity. If we have a job right there, it's build an opportunity, and we get that paycheck.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And these days, we need to be especially thankful for that.
Absolutely. And staying away from stealing the time back from our employers. And what I mean by that is, when we take a job, we're agreeing to sell our time and our talent to the employer. So if we spend time on the internet or texting or personal phone calls, it seems like it's a little teeny bit here and a little teeny bit there, and it doesn't really amount to much, and why would I even say anything about it? But the truth of the matter is that those things can add up to cumulatively about a month a year if you work a 7.5-hour day. And that's time that the employer is paying you to sit there and do your own personal thing. And so we have to ask.
They don't owe you that.
They don't owe us that. And so what we have to do is ask ourselves if what we're about to do or what we're doing contributes to the efficiency or the profitability of the company. And if the answer is no, don't do it. Just wait for your personal time at home and about establishing relationships on the job. It's perfectly fine, but do it on your own time.
Right. Yeah. Well, we've been talking about everything for the employer, but what about the employee? What do we do to get more out of what we got?
as far as the employer getting more effort out of us.
How do we make ourselves more marketable for us?
Well, again, getting on the internet, investing the time in our own time to learn everything that we can possibly learn about the industry we want to be in, the employer we would like to work for, and just positioning ourselves to be the most valuable person in that workplace. If we're trying to get a job with an employer, to learn about what they do, their products, their services, who the competition is, what's going on in the industry.
Well, and I like how you say set your own personal best record.
Absolutely.
You know, you set that reputation, and hopefully that will pay off sometime in the future.
It absolutely will, in ways that we can't even imagine sometimes.
This is you.
That's me.
That's right, and your book. So how do people get a hold of it?
Well, it's at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble. It's at my website, and every time somebody buys a book off of my website, there's a book that's donated to a kid in foster care. So it's RhondaSciortino.com. I know it's crazy spelling, but from foster care to millionaire.com also. And there's lots and lots of tips in here. I did it myself. It's proven. There's no special qualifications necessary, no cost to any of these tips. And applied consistently, they absolutely will change your life.
Were you ever a gossiper at your job?
I probably was when I was too young to know the difference. And yeah, I think I've set myself apart and seized opportunities.
Well, I think we probably all have in one way or another, maybe not on large levels, but yeah, we're very fortunate to have jobs, and we got to respect that too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Some great tips, Rhonda.
Well,
and,
thank you.
Best of luck
Thank
to
you for having me.
Okay.
All right, hey, let's check out weather.